So now, okay, let me just now write the body, what the body of the for loop. So now we have our for loop that says the initialization is I in I is equals to 0, I less than 7, I plus plus. So this thing, the purpose of this thing is just gonna display the number from 0 to 6. So here we're just gonna say C out, right? So here I can just say number. Then after that, I'm just gonna put I here, right? So I end the line. So it means this for loop is gonna display what? It's gonna display the 0 up to what? Up to 6, right? So from here, if there is no one who doesn't understand like how this thing work, can ask the question. Even if you don't ask, you don't unmute your mic, you can ask it through the command section there. So we have what? We have the statement on line 10. We have the initialization on line 8. We have the condition. We have what? Increment there. So if there is anyone who don't understand this thing, can do what? Can ask. And also this for loop is gonna work like this. It's gonna say on line 8 before it can even enter inside the body of the for loop. It's just gonna say int I is equals to 0. Then after that, it's gonna check if 0 is less than 7. Then true, 0 is less than 7. Then after that, it's gonna get inside the body. Then it's gonna go straight to line 10, say C out number, then display the value of I. So the value of I is just gonna start by 0. So immediately when it display the value of I, is gonna go again to line number 8, then it's gonna say I plus plus. So this I plus plus is the same as we say I plus is equals to 1, right? Or I is equals to I plus 1, right? So when you add 1 to I, so I now is changed to become 1. So when you go again to the condition to check if I is less than 7. Yes, yes. Now 1 is what? 1 is less than 7. So when 1 is less than 7, it's gonna go again inside the what? Display the number there. So it's gonna keep on checking. It's gonna keep on adding 1 to I, and also keep on checking the condition until I is what? Until I is 7. So when I is 7, the for loop is gonna stop running because 7 is no longer less than 7, right? Okay. Mm, mm, mm. Okay, I'm just building the program now. Okay, so what's happening here? So okay, this is the number that we are expecting in the what? In the for loop from 0 to 6. So this thing are the 7 numbers that we displayed or the what on what using the for loop. So you must know also you must know the importance of what? The importance of the for loop there. So the for loop, like you can use it in many ways. So you can either use it where you ask the user. Let's say you want the user to keep on entering the number there. So you want the if you want the user to enter 10 numbers, then you can use the for loop to keep on asking the user to enter those 10 numbers. So most of the time we use it you are working on the repetition there. So when you are working on the repetition program, is like this if is like it's gonna waste time for you to keep on asking the user to enter the same thing. So it's better to do what, to just use the follow, because the follow is gonna solve this thing of keep on asking the user um many time manually. So it means for it is just gonna ask it through the program when you when you run the program there, than just writing the each and every statement to ask the user to enter the value there, right? So um another thing about the for loop is that like you can use it in many ways. In the thing of, we can ask the you can store the values from it, then after storing the value from it, you can also display, you see. So also you can use it to do the calculations. Maybe if you want to do the total of the numbers that are entering by the user, you can also use the for loop there. So most of the time we just use it on the what, on the repetition there. Okay, so um and also you can be able to do what, you can be able to convert a while loop, I mean to say you can able to convert a for loop to a while loop. So you can able to convert this, right? So converting this, it means where there is an initialization, you're just gonna say I int I is equals to 0, then we write while. So when we are converting, it means whatever the for loop was doing, also the while loop must do, right? So here it's just gonna be int no, here is the condition, so we're just gonna say I less than 7, right? Then I open my for loop. Then here I can just copy this statement on line 10. So copy that statement and paste it here. So after copying that statement and paste it on line 18, so there is the last statement that you need to do. So the last statement is the, what do you call this thing? Is what is I plus plus. So this I plus plus, you must make sure is there. Once it's not there, it means you are what do you call this thing? Your while loop, it won't stop from running. So it means it will be infinite there, right? So so far, if there is anyone with the question about the about the while loop, then can ask it there. So I'm gonna show you guys what I mean if you don't include line 18, line 19 there. So I want to show you, if you don't include this line, then your code will just run without what, without even stopping. So it's just gonna be infinite there. So I'm just gonna show you what I'm talking about here. So it's just gonna keep on running. Okay. So okay, so this is what happening when you want, when do what you do without including what, increment there. So it is very important. It is very important to have increment, because once you don't have an increment there, then it's gonna do what? It's gonna give you the problem. So it is very important to have the increment there. Otherwise, you're gonna have the problems. So this thing, it will run until you find, so it meaning it won't stop from running until we just stop out. Okay, guys. So one of you is not even asking the question. So it means you guys like understanding. You understanding like what's going on here. I'll just take it like that. Okay. So I'm sure. So now if I run it with the I plus plus here, you're gonna see how it's gonna work. So it means it's just gonna display from 0 up to 7 without any problems. So you see, and this is the same output as the one that we display on the for loop there. Okay, so if there is no one with a question, so I just came up with a question from the study guide there about what about the for loop, right? So I just picked up this 15.1. Yeah. So I just picked up this one. Okay. So this is the question that I'm just gonna do here before I close the lesson. So now this is the question about the for loop, right? So they are asking you write a program that calculate and display the sum of all the odd numbers up to a number n, right? Then they say the user must supply a value for n and the program must display all the partial sums up to n there, including n if n is what is odd, right? So when they say including n if n is odd, it means when you are writing the for loop there on your condition, you must say I less than is equals to n there, right? So this is just the question that I'm gonna do quickly for you guys. Um, so now I'm just gonna check it now. So okay, let me just work on it. So the first of all, we must do what they say. The user must supply a value for n, and the program must display all the partial sum up to n. So it means the first thing, first of all, we must declare the a variable name which is n. Then ask the user to enter a number, right? Then after asking the user to enter that number, then we're gonna calculate the sum of those odd numbers there using the for loop. Okay, so now I'm just gonna command this out. Okay, so this thing we are done with them. So I'm just gonna start here. So from them, just gonna say int n um is equals to what? Okay, this one they said we must ask the user to enter the number there. So I'm just gonna see out. So I'm just gonna say please enter a number there, right? So after that, I can just terminate my line. Then I'm just gonna see in n, right? So guys, don't forget that they said we must enter that number. So that number is the one that the for loop is gonna run up to it, calculating the what do you call this thing? Calculating the odd numbers, right? So I'm also gonna need a variable for what? for sum. So I'm just gonna say int sum is equals to 0. So now I'm making sum is equals to 0 because I want to keep on adding to sum. So if you want to add on sum, it means it has to be 0, because if you don't assign it to 0, it means you're gonna add on nothing, which is not gonna be allowed to add on nothing. So you can add on variable that doesn't have a value. It means that variable must have a value first before you can even add. So by the default, we're just gonna say sum is equals to what? Is equals to 0, right? So now here, I'm just gonna do what? I'm just gonna perform what? My for loop here, all right? So we're just gonna say int. So since we are calculating the sum of the odd number up to n, right? So it means since it's the odd number, we're gonna start from 1, because 0 is an even number. So here I'm just gonna say less than is equals to n. So the reason I'm saying less than is equals to n is because from that question on exercise 15.1, they said also if n is an odd number, then it should also be counted. It should also be added there on the sum, right? So it means on your for loop there, you must do what? You must include it here. So here I can say I plus plus, because if I say I plus plus, our stuff it don't work very well, because when I say I plus plus, it's just gonna add 1, then adding 1 on I becomes 2. So it means this is gonna add it's also gonna add some of the even numbers to the sum, which is not which is not correct. So it's better to say plus is equals to 2. So when you say plus is equals to 2, it means it's gonna make sure that it adds only odd numbers. So 1 is also an odd number. So that's why we are starting from what? From 1, right? So now I'm gonna before I can even display the sum, right? So I'm just gonna say sum plus is equals to I. So it means it's just gonna keep on adding the sum, the value of I to the sum. Then after that, they said we must also display the values of the sum when the for loop keeps on running there. So I can just say sum up to, and then I can just put it inside here. Then I can put I here. Then also I can say sum up to this. So this I will be the one, let's say sum up to let's say it's gonna say sum up to 3, then display 4 there, just like that. So that's how it's gonna work. So here I can just put can just put the equality sign, right? So then also here I can display my sum here, right? Then after that I can just end my line, right? So before I can even like run the code, I can also write the out statement here. That's so that we want the partial sum of the odd numbers. So I'm just gonna say partial sums of odd number. Okay, guys, I see you there on the group, on the comments. You say you understand. Okay, that's good. So just gonna say sum, partial sum of odd numbers up to. So here when I'm saying up to, so it means I'm gonna do what? I'm just gonna put the value of n there. So this n is the one that's gonna say okay up to this, right? So since it's like that, I can just say okay, let me do what? Let me put a new line here, right? Just gonna put a new line there. Then after that, I do what? I terminate my program. Yeah. So from now here, our program is just gonna display the sum of the what? The sum of the what? Of the odd numbers. You see, partial sum of the odd numbers. So it means each and every time after adding to the sum we display, after adding to the sum we display, after adding to the sum we display, right? Here is like we add, then here we do what? Display. Then here also I can say we display this message. Then here I can say we are, especially the one that I don't understand here. I can say we are asking, I can say we ask the user to enter um, to enter a number. Okay, so then here I can say we do what? Declare a variable. So here we do what? We declare what? Declare what? A variable there, right? Okay. So here we do what? We declare what? We declare a variable, right? So now I'm just gonna run the code so you guys can see like what's happening here. Okay, let me build the code. So now it's asking me please enter a number. So I can just say 9. Then it's just gonna say partial sum of the odd number up to 9. Then it's gonna say sum up to 1 is 1, sum up to 3 is 4, sum up to 5 is 9, sum up to 7 is 16, sum up to 9 is what? Is 25. So this thing is just a thing of immediately after adding I to sum, it display. Immediately after adding I to sum, it displays. So after adding I to sum, we display. After display, we go straight to line 17. We add the 2 to I. Then we check the condition. If we meet the condition, we go again. We add it there. All right. So guys, if there is no one with the question, so far, I'm just gonna stop here with the what? With the for loop. So tomorrow I can see which next topic we can work with. So maybe we can do the nested if statement. So I'll just hear from you. So from now I'm just stopping this thing. Okay.